Hey, this is James, also known as the Orange and Black Dude. Hopefully, this is a prototype shirt. I put loyal and true since 1998. That's when I first started taking classes at Oklahoma State. I graduated in '04 because I took a year off when I got married, and then I went part-time for a couple years. So that's why it took me 6 years to get my degree. But we're here. I want to talk about uh, the guy that inspired me to do this channel, Golden Blue Dude, and understand this is not a knockoff of his channel. I believe that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and although I don't agree with everything he says, I like his passion. I like his zeal for college football, and it's just an enjoyable channel to watch. So if you're a subscriber to this channel, please consider watching Golden Blue Dude. It's interesting to hear things from a different fan base's perspective. It's interesting to hear things from a West Virginia fan's perspective. And he said several times they want to go to the ACC. I don't blame him. I think West Virginia versus Syracuse is a good rivalry. I think West Virginia Pitt, the whole backyard brawl, is a good rivalry. What are some other good games? West Virginia versus Vatech is a good rivalry. I don't know about West Virginia versus Virginia, but I think that would be a good game. I think with this whole college expansion talk, people are forgetting travel costs. And West Virginia right now in the Big 12 is spending a lot of money to pay for travel costs, where if they were in the ACC, it would make life a whole lot easier for them. So I don't blame him. Now he's got, I'm going to give you, I'm put them up here 5 at a time. So he's got West Virginia at 21, Oklahoma State at 22, Texas at 23, Michigan State at 24, and South Carolina at 25. Now I'm going to talk about them individually, and I'm going to try to do this quickly because this is a relatively new channel and I have to do it in less than 15 minutes. South Carolina, the coaches have them unranked. Now, according to Phil Steele's, oh gosh, I had to rearrange everything because of the air conditioner. According to Phil Steele's book, they have 9 offensive starters returning, 5 defensive starters returning. South Carolina does get Georgia at home. That will help them. I don't think they'll win, but I think it will help them. They also get Clemson at home. No, I'm sorry, Clemson's on the road. But they get Texas A&M at home, and they get Kentucky at home. And that's the Kentucky game. They also get Tennessee and Mizzou at home. The Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mizzou games are important to them because they want to try to win the SEC East. So, I'm not SEC East. SEC East. Yeah. It's weird because it's weird to think of a Carolina team in the Southeast Conference, but that South Carolina is. If South Carolina can beat Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mizzou, there'll be a good chance. And well, they got to beat Florida too. They'll be a contender for the SEC East. Michigan State 24. The coaches have them at 14, and I can see why. They have 5 offensive starters returning, but they have 9 on the defense returning. They're going to be pretty stout. And they have Ohio State and Wisconsin at home, which is important. But they got to go at Michigan and at Penn State. That's going to be hard. Will they be a contender for the Big Ten to make it to the Big Ten title game? I think so. They could. But the key is they've got to replace their star running back from last year. Number 23, Texas. The coaches have them at 18. Golden Blue Dude has them at 23. They got 7 on offense and 7 on defense returning, which is important. They do play TCU and Baylor at home. I don't think TCU is going to be good, but it's Fort Worth is not an easy place to play. But they have to go at Oklahoma State and they have to go at Kansas State, and I don't think they're going to win either one of those games. And the key, if I'm wrong, we'll know on week 2 because they have Alabama at home. And if I'm the coach at Texas, I'm giving Bijan Robinson the football 25, 30 times a game. because he's the key to your victory. All right, we got it. Oklahoma State. Now, coaches poll has them at 11. Golden Blue Dude has them at 22. They have 7 offensive and 4 defensive starters returning. The key is Trace Ford never even played last year. He was hurt in training camp. He missed the whole year, so he's back. Some of their corners played in the bowl games. They have playing experience. And Phil Steele has Lamont Bishop, a senior linebacker, and Xavier Benson, a junior linebacker, as the starters. So these aren't young guys who just got to campus a couple of weeks ago and are brand new to college football. Now, they do have Texas and West Virginia at home. That's important. But they have to go at Baylor and at OU. I don't think they're going to win I don't think they're going to win on October 1st in Waco. He has 20. West Virginia at 21. They're not ranked in the coaches poll. They have 7 offensive and 4 defensive players returning. But the real key is J.T. Daniels. How quickly he gets acclimated to that offense. I think Neil Brown's a great spread offensive coach. I think he can pull it off. They got OU and Baylor at home, which is good, but they have to go at Texas and at Oklahoma State, and I think those are going to be difficult games. I honestly believe that last game against Oklahoma State is going to decide who goes to the Big 12 title game, and I got Oklahoma State winning. It's a 50-50 game, and it's in Stillwater, so I'm going to pick them. I think the real key is how they play at Pitt and at Virginia Tech. If they can win both of those games, they're going to have a great year. If they don't, then they may struggle a little bit. But J.T. Daniels is really the key. How well he acclimates to Morgantown will be the difference maker. He's got Penn State at 20. Ironic, coaches don't even have him ranked, which is weird because they've got 7 offensive starters returning, 4 defensive starters. They got a pre-conference game. It's not a pre-season game, but a non-conference game at Auburn. And if they can win that one, they're going to have a good year. They got Ohio State and Minnesota at home, but they have to go to Michigan and they have to go at Indiana. So, I don't know. I think they're going to be good. I think very highly of James Franklin. I just don't think they're going to contend for the Big 12 or Big 10 title game. But they'll probably finish 8-4, 9-3. I mean, they're a good program. UCLA has 6 offensive starters returning, but only 2 defensive starters. But Chip Kelly and his offense, I think they're going to be really good. They got Utah at home, which is going to help, and they have Washington at home, and that's going to help. Problem is they have to go at Oregon and at Colorado. I don't think they're going to be Oregon. Or the Colorado game to me is a 50-50 game, and I'd have to give the edge to Colorado on that one because they're at Boulder. I'm sorry. Let me put up the 15 through 20, or 16 through 20. Notre Dame, Oregon, Kentucky, UCLA, Penn State. You know, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into 2 videos. I'll do 11 through 25 today, and I'll do the top 10 tomorrow. So that way I don't have to rush through it. I feel like I'm rushing. That's not good. Like I said, UCLA, I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but I don't think that they're going to win the Pac-12. Give Chip Kelly another year. I already talked about him. Kentucky, Blue and Gold has them at 18. Coaches have them at 21. They have 6 offensive and 5 defensive starters returning. Pretty solid. They got Vanderbilt at home. They got Georgia at home. But they got to play at Tennessee, at Mizzou, which I'm not saying Mizzou is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread this year, but it's not an easy place to play. The key is going to be week 2 at Florida. In my opinion, the winner of this game is going to win the SEC East. And I'm giving Kentucky a puncher's chance. Oregon's at 17. The coaches have them at 12. And I tend to agree with the coaches on this one because they have 8 offensive starters and 7 defensive starters. And they have UCLA and Utah at home. They do have to go to Washington State. They do have to go to Colorado. Those are potential games where they might trip up. Week 3, BYU at home, I think is going to show us a lot as far as what kind of team this is. And I also think their first game in Atlanta against Georgia, if Oregon can pull this off like they did last year, beating Ohio State, they're going to have a good year. And I'm not saying I'm going to give the edge to Georgia because it's in Atlanta, but I'm not going to. It's going to be closer than people think. Now, Gold and Blue Dude has Notre Dame at 16, and coaches have them at 5. I tend to agree with Gold and Blue Dude on this one because they lost their coach, they lost several staff. But they do have 7 offensive players returning and 8 defensive players returning. The key for Notre Dame is going to be week 1. They go at Ohio State. If Notre Dame can beat Ohio State, they're going to be in good situation. And like Oregon, they also play BYU. It's a neutral site game. It's in Vegas. It's on October 8th. That's going to be key. If Notre Dame wants to make the playoff, they've got to win at least one of those. If they lose both, they're out. They do have Clemson at home. They do have Stanford at home, but they have to go at North Carolina, and I do believe the Tar Heels are going to be good. And they have to go at USC, and by the end of the year, Caleb Williams should be in the flow of things. 15, Wisconsin. They got 5 offensive and 3 defensive players returning. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. They got Minnesota at home. They don't have to play Michigan, but they have to go to Michigan State, and they have to play at Ohio State, so no. Let me put 11 through 15 up on the screen. I'm sorry. NC State, Michigan, Texas A&M, USC, and Wisconsin. So USC at 14. They've got the coaches have them at 15, so that's pretty close. I think Golden Blue Dude has it about right. 8 offensive starters returning, 3 defensive starters, but they do have Caleb Williams coming in. They have Colorado and USC at home, but they're at Utah and they're at UCLA, and they have to play week 2 at Stanford. That, to me, will show whether or not they're a real contender for the Pac-12 or not. 13, Texas A&M. The coaches have them at 7. I think Golden Blue Dude is correct. They only have 6 offensive and 5 defensive players coming back. They do have, it's LSU's at home, Arkansas's at home, but they have to go at Alabama, at South Carolina, at Auburn. And to me, the key is September 17th. They have to play Miami. The Hurricanes come in town. If Miami wins that game, A&M's going to have a long season. Number 12, Michigan. Coaches have them at 6. I don't know. They have 9 offensive players returning, but only 4 on the defense. Now, here's the key. They have Penn State at home and Michigan State at home. That's important. That's going to help them. But they have to go at Iowa, which is tough. They've lost there before. And they have to go at Ohio State, and that's the last game of the year. Do I think that essentially is going to be the de facto Big Ten East championship game? Yeah, but I think Ohio State's going to win that game. NC State, coaches have them at 13. Golden Blue Dude has them at 11. They have, and I think Golden Blue Dude is correct. They have 7 offensive players returning, but they have 10 defensive players returning. Now they have Florida State and Vautech at home, but they have to go to North Carolina, to Syracuse, and at Clemson. That's going to be difficult, and I don't think they're going to win that one. The key, I think, is also going to be on September 17th. They play Texas Tech at home. Let's see if this team is for real or not. So anyway, I'm going to stop there. Let me do the top 10 in another video for tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you haven't. if you're new, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.